And then if I have help, it takes longer.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
At night now, which one they went in, I don't know. I can't remember. You don't have any number on it? No, I don't have no number on it. Then I looked at it and I said, well, they all must have the same print on them.
We've got this.
You know?
You don't have any,
Well, years back,
Trying to get this out. It's really hard.
you know that, Dan?
But they come out fairly easy though.
Really hard. Really hard.
yeah, it's an anaerobic environment.
That column.
Well, the only way I got this knife is I had to take this bolt out and tap the rings down the side. But they have to go in and shove them back up.
Time to go all down into the water or hide our
I don't know, maybe.
They're all different, they're all the same trick.
Well, they look like they are. But it's gonna be a time.
I thought this was gonna be a 15-minute job, but
Well, I think
15-hour job.
15 minutes each day.
Well, how long did it take us to get them out? It took us,
well, yeah, but we weren't doing it right, no.
well, I accidentally,
I've forgotten that. It's been so long since I had them over there.
but well, you used to put them in years ago when you were in the shop, did you, or did the workmen do that? So the only thing I did is kept the 4 bolts on stuff.
Seems like this is gonna be a job.
Well,
For some other day, when my luck is better.
okay. You want me to try to tackle it all if I get time, or
What?
you want me to try to find which bolt goes in which hole, or?
All go the same way.
So would you be like a tour, just walking around, or some questions, or?
I have some questions.
Okay. Okay.
Can't quite believe what I'm seeing.
Each one is amazes me.
Is it flat boards and they overlap?
The flatboard, but no, you have to hand bevel it.
Okay.
You're welcome, nice talking to you.
See if it goes on meadow.
Did you have any other questions or anything, or?
No.
Thank you, have a good day.
Okay. So just like the top is, this one isn't beveled yet, but I beveled the bottom to try to fit it.
And this one is over here.
This one is beveled.
Yes.
So that's ready to receive the next plank, which I haven't installed it yet.
Right. And is it glued and nailed?
No, it's just nailed.
Just nailed.
Yep.
And then, once it's wet, does the...
It swells together.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like this plank here ain't nailed. We could take this off here.
Right.
You know, and of course I still gotta fit the top of it, but what I've been doing is it's fitting the bevel on this one to make sure it's tight.
Yeah.
So there's no holes underneath and on top here.
And it's nailed.
Yep.
Is that a brad or is that...
No, that's a
Or
boot nail. It's called cut nail. That's what it looks like, a square nail.
Okay, and what is it, you bang it over?
You bend it over,
Okay,
you
yeah.
bore it through,
Yeah.
you put an iron on the head of it, and you take the hammer and you clench them,
Okay.
and you bend them over. And then you put the iron on the inside, then you set the head below the wood, and
Yeah.
that seals it, or squishes it even
Yeah.
closer together.
Oh, how's the bottom set in? I was looking downstairs, I can't figure out.
The planks go past the bottom, so if you feel
Yeah.
underneath there, you see
Okay.
the bottom plank is past, sitting down below.
Is that nailed on? Nailed in?
Well, it's tacked on right now. I haven't nailed it off because it's a hard job to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So once it's all planked on and nailed, and I'll flip it on its top, hand plane the edges down, and then I'll take a straight edge, lay it on the bottom so I can put the nails in straight.
Yep.
Because it's so easy to put these nails up through the bottom or down through the bottom.
Yeah.
And these two jacks here forces this down into the jig below.
Right.
The jig has a 3.5 inch rocker into it.
Okay, yeah.
How thick is the planking?
The planking's 5-inch thick. She's shiplap construction.
Uh-huh.
Get there. Or clinker built, they call it. Oh.
Okay. And you set the head of the nails in there pretty good.
You do. You give them a real good smash.
Mm-hmm. And they get puttied over later?
They
or
get
not
puttied
really?
over. Well, you undercoat the whole boat first, and then you would putty over top of that, then give it a light sanding. And then 2 more coats and sand it in between coats.
Is it pretty hard to find wood yet, or not really?
No, we still seem to able to get enough planks to do a few boats. Mind you, we're not doing no big production run.
Right.
We build 1 or 2 a year. Usually it's just 1 here lately.
Yeah. And the bottom planking, that's just...
That's just glued together. That's
Oh, it is?
jointed and biscuit jointed, and then epoxy with marine glue together.
And that holds up all right?
That holds up all right, yeah.
In the old days, it would have been caulked.
It would have been caulked. Well, if you want to come down here, we have models on the wall down there and shows you how it was done back in 1880 right up until the shelf was closed in 1971. How you making that, Bill?
I suppose if you use plywood for the bottom, it'd be hard to nail the planking into the plywood.
It probably would, yes.
You'd have to put another chine in there or something
You would.
for it.
Well, for one thing, plywood wouldn't be long enough.
Yeah, right.
So this is how they did it. They laid out their boards and stuff on sawhorses, and this is a 12-footer. And nowadays we glue this together, and I put a chalk line down the center. But they use the center of the 2 middle boards for their chalk line, and then they would divide it equally proportions where the strips would go, and these are just for extra strength, and these other lines are for where the knees go.
Okay.
And then you would draw the shape of the dory out, and they would cut this out square to the pencil line. So they leave the pencil line. The pencil line's your guide.
Right.
And these are nailed on also to keep the boards together while they're working on the boat. That's the first stage. Second stage is to assemble your knees and your stern and your stem on.
Okay. And you do this before you put it on the jig?
Yes, you do. You assemble the boat just the way she is right here. And that pencil line there, you would line up the ribs right to the pencil line, then you would nail them on from underneath.
Okay.
Everything's done from underneath. Then you would bevel the bottom to the rake of each one of these ribs. From here to here, bottom would have this bevel. From here to the stern, it would have this bevel, and so forth down to the.
So it's constantly changing along the boat?
It's constantly changing. So you can't put 1 degree or like a 30 degrees the whole way down, wouldn't fit.
Right. Yeah.
And then once you did that, you would put your chalk line here.
Okay.
Or it's called caulking, so that's your gasket and the circumference of the bottom of the dory.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then the boat would go on the jig, and then once the boat come off the jig, it would go up to the paint shop, which is on the other side of this wall, and then it'd be rolled over. Then the cotton would be rolled in with the corking iron from the bottom side.
Okay. Okay. How long? So by the time you get the bottom on and the frames on, about how far are you to the end of finishing the boat?
They would do 2 of these with the metal clip in 1 day. So they work 10 hours a day here.
Wow. How long would it take you to put the planking on?
Well, they'd have the planking on. See, they had men on either side of the benches there beveling the long plank, and they had a production line going here. So sometime after lunchtime, they would have a boat off the jig. So they would have that boat planked up within probably less than 3 hours. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
where it takes me a few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
To the number of people you apply to it, right?
And then if I have help, it takes longer.
Yeah. Great. Yeah.